Tonight on the news, Governor Soludo cautions builders against using substandard materials. Anambra government to wade into Mumbo community's complaints. FG secures over $1 billion loan to power 5 million Nigerians. On the foreign scene, Israeli-Hamas ceasefire, more hostages released. Before the news in detail, here is a special message. Security is here to stay in Anambra State. In the Anambra, remember, security is everyone's business. And for us to have a more secure and livable Anambra State, let us join forces with the government in securing our state. If you see something, say something. Report unscrupulous elements to the security operatives for better security of life and property. Remember, the emergency number 5111 and 08002 02008. Hello and welcome. My name is Chinyere Ikoreke. We begin tonight with Anambra State Governor Professor Chukwuma Soludo has cautioned developers against using substandard materials in construction of buildings, attributing them to the frequent cases of building collapse in this part of the world. The governor issued the warning during a visit to the construction site at the Regina Cheli Junction in Oka, where a 3-story building under construction collapsed at the late hours of yesterday. Emmanuel Okonkwo was there for ABS.
Present at the scene during the governor's visit were a health team from the Ministry of Health, fire service officials, among others. Governor Soludo, represented by his deputy Dr. Onyekachukwu Bezim, warned builders to exercise caution when erecting structures and avoid actions that could endanger human lives. When contacted on phone by the deputy governor, the engineer handling the project, who gave his name as Mr. Stanley, said he was trapped in the building alongside other 2 workers, and 3 of them were immediately rescued and rushed to the hospital where they are currently receiving treatment. In Oka, I am Emmanuel Okonkwo, reporting for ABS News.
Japanese government and United Nations Office for Project Services have handed over the climate disaster emergency support project executed in Anambra State to the state government. Apart from the flood detective device installed in some major rivers in the state, the group also handed over 10 vehicles, 3 big tractors, ICT equipment, among other equipment. Again, Emmanuel Okonkwo filed in the report.
In a remark on behalf of the Japanese government, the charge d'affaires Embassy of Japan in Nigeria, Mr. Hitoshi Kozaki, restated the government's commitment to helping Anambra State to mitigate flooding and other climatic challenges.
We are sure that this support will bring about a positive impact on the people of Anambra and Nigeria.
In various addresses, the UNOPS project manager, Mr. Herbert Apia, and director, UNOPS Ghana Multi-Country Office, Dr. Ifeoma Charles Monguba, while explaining that the project is funded by Government of Japan through its Ministry of Foreign Affairs and implemented by UNOPS, said that the gesture was aimed at reducing damages caused by the yearly flooding in Anambra State. Responding, Anambra State Governor Professor Chukwuma Soludo, represented by his deputy Dr. Onyekachukwu Bezim, thanked Japanese government and UNOPS for coming to the aid of the state, saying that the intervention will go a long way in complementing the efforts of his government towards protecting the Anambra from adverse effects of flood disaster.
On behalf of Mr. Governor, Professor Chukwuma Soludo, we want to thank you for your kind gestures, and then we hope this continues.
From Government House in Oka, I am Emmanuel Okonkwo, reporting for ABS News.
A former chief of staff to the immediate past governor of Anambra State, Chief Primus Odili, has appealed to the people of Umuobanam and Aguleri communities, both in Anambra East local government area, to ensure violence, bloodshedding, unnecessary land tussle, and see one another as brothers and sisters. Reacting to the recent misunderstanding between the 2 neighboring communities in Otuocha, Chief Odili regretted that unnecessary land tussle and violence has denied both communities some of the developmental projects they could have attracted to the more than 5 decades and asked both communities to always see one another as brothers and sisters who, by God's desires and conviction, are living together and will continue to live as neighbors, urging them to start fishing out bad elements in their various communities for them to face the full wrath of the law. Chief Odeli, however, commended the traditional rulers, presidents, generals, religious leaders, and other relevant stakeholders of the two communities for ensuring that the unfortunate incident did not escalate further, and called on the appropriate authorities to sincerely mark an everlasting boundary which would be acceptable to both parties in order to end the land dispute, and eulogized the administration of Governor Chukwuma Soludo, the mayor of Anambra East local government area, as well as various security agencies for being responsive to their duties, urging them to keep sustaining the temple for a peaceful environment. The people of Umumbo in Ayamelum local government area have urged Anambra state government to cancel the purported election conducted this month that produced Mr. Charles Enuwa as the President General Umumbo Progressive Union and conduct another election for the town union in line with Umumbo Constitution. Correspondent Chukwemeka Modelemu reports that the people made the appeal through the former President General of the community, Engineer Anthony Nama, where they staged a peaceful protest at Government House, Oka. His report.
They displayed placards with various inscriptions, such as "We need free, fair and transparent town union election," among others. According to their leader, Engineer Nama, due process was not followed in conducting the election.
We came here to register our displeasure before His Excellency that the so-called purported election be nullified and due process of His Excellency, the Professor Charles Soludo, be followed.
Addressing the protesters, the Chief of Staff to Governor Chukwuma Soludo, Chief Ernest Ezajoge, who noted that Governor Chukwuma Soludo has resolved so many community crises of building a livable and prosperous homeland, commended the protesters for ventilating their grievances in a civil way.
We want to sit down in a room to dissect what happened and what next, because Mr. Governor is doing everything to make sure that this place is livable and prosperous homeland.
Another spokesman of the protesters, Mr. Innocent Okeke, who commended the developmental strides of Governor Soludo in the state, maintained that the community believes in fairness and equity and wants a leadership that is driven by consensus minds. In Oka, Chukwemeka Modelemu, ABS News.
Way down from news within the state, the federal government has secured a $1.1 billion loan from African Development Bank to provide electricity for 5 million people by the end of 2026. Special advisor to the President, Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, who disclosed this in a statement, said President Bola Tinubu made this known at the just concluded two-day Mission 300 African Energy Summit in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. Tinubu also stated that the AFDB's $200 million in the Nigerian electrification project would provide electricity for 500,000 people by the end of 2025. Tinubu, whose speech was delivered by the Minister of Power, Adebayo Adelabu, said as Nigeria's president, he is committed to making energy accessible to all. On the foreign scene, Abgar Bega, the first of 3 Israeli hostages due to be released today, has been freed in Gaza and is now back in Israel. Bega was released in Jabalia, northern Gaza. 2 other Israeli Arab, Hudu and Gadi Moses, are expected to be free in southern Gaza soon. Hamas are also due to release 5 Thai nationals whose names have not been confirmed, who were taken in the attack on 7th October 2023. Israel will later release 101 Palestinian in Israel prison, Hamas says. It is the 3rd release of the hostages since the ceasefire deal between Israel and Hamas began on 19th January 2025. In sport, the 2024-2025 UEFA Champions League group stage has concluded in dramatic fashion, setting the stage for an exciting knockout phase playoff draw scheduled for Friday 31st January at 12 noon CET in Lyon, Switzerland. With all group stage matches played simultaneously on Wednesday night, the list of teams advancing directly to the round of 16, those are set for knockouts playoff, and these eliminated are now confirmed. That's the size of our package tonight, but remember that you can follow news and programs on ABS from any part of the world by liking our Facebook page at Anambra Broadcasting Service. Subscribe to our YouTube page at ABS Television Oka. On X at ABS Radio TV. On Instagram at ABS Radio TV. You can also log on to our website at www.absradiotv.com. The main point again, Governor Soludo has cautioned builders against using substandard materials. Anambra government weighed into Mumbu community's complaints. FG has secured over $1.1 billion loan to power 5 million Nigerians. And on the foreign scene, we told you Israeli-Hamas ceasefire, more hostages have been released. Just before we go, let's take this special message again. Security is here to stay in Anambra State. In the Anambra, remember, security is everyone's business, and for us to have a more secure and livable Anambra State, let us join forces with the government in securing our state. If you see something, say something. Report unscrupulous elements to the security operatives for better security of life and property. Remember the emergency number 5111 and 08002 20008. Thanks for staying with us. My name is Chinyere Ikoreke. Good night.